Protests continue outside the Johannesburg Central Prison, where Operation Dudula's Nhlanhla Dlamini is being held. He's expected to appear in the Roodepoort Magistrates Court tomorrow after spending the weekend behind bars. Nhlanhla Dlamini was arrested on Thursday after a criminal case was opened against him. A Soweto resident opened the case, alleging that Dlamini and other Dudula movement members ransacked his house and accused him of being a drug dealer. Dlamini's legal representative said he was denied police bail at the Johannesburg Central Police Station. Dudula movement members have protested outside the police station, calling for the release of their leader. Other civil society organizations have joined the protest in support of Nhlanhla and the Dudula movement. Now, the leader of the Operation Dudula movement is expected to appear in the Roodepoort Magistrates Court tomorrow after spending the weekend behind bars. Nhlanhla Dlamini was arrested on Thursday after a criminal case was opened against him. Dudula movement members have protested outside the police station, calling for the release of their leader. For more on this, we are now joined by our reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa. Mbalenhle, thank you so much for your time. Talk to us about what the latest is there regarding these protests. We also understand that some civic groups have joined in.
Yes, indeed. You would have heard yesterday during the announcement after a last attempt to try and get him out on a warning failed. Operation Dudula leaders came back and reported to the supporters and the members who have been picketing outside in solidarity with the Operation Dudula leader, Nhlanhla Dlamini. They planned to intensify the march. We saw a larger group joining in today, a larger group including other members from the Alexandra Dudula movement and the e-hailing services, which had a protest a little bit earlier on, saying that there is some form of alliance between the two organizations. Now, what we've had in terms of conversations that we've had so far is that we've had the lawyers representing the Dudula Operation Dudula leader accusing the police of dragging their feet in terms of charging the leader. You'll understand that on Friday, the leader was not charged until only 5 p.m. At the time, the police were saying that they're also exercising their 48 hours before charging a suspect who's been taken in for questioning. So that's a conversation we've had. But since the last time we spoke, we've also reached out to the EFF, and the EFF has come back to us saying that it will not comment at this stage regarding some of the allegations that have been coming out from discussions and conversations with those who are supporting the operation, saying that accusing the EFF of political interference and possibly being behind what they call was an unjust arrest of their leader, saying that most political heads don't get arrested, but they go and hand themselves over at a police station with their lawyers present, and also saying that part of the reason why he's been forced to stay behind bars is also because of that political interference from political parties such as the EFF. You remember that the EFF accompanied a Soweto resident to open a case against the Operation Dudula leader, accusing him of breaking an entry as well as theft and well as damage to malicious damage to property. Now, what you are seeing here, and I'll just allow the camera person to just pan and show you what's happening. These are people out here who have been picketing and protesting, and what you've also seen is that you've seen EFF regalia, t-shirts, what you name it, being burnt here in full view of the media and in full view of the police that are here. We did reach out and make them aware of the things that are being said about the EFF as well as the regalia being burnt down, but they have declined to comment, saying that the law must take its course. You will remember that they did call on the group, calling it a vigilante group, saying that the organization is criminal, harassing community members, saying that they would want to see the leader being arrested within 7 days. The Operation Dudula movement leaders then taking this to believe that this is political interference, and part of the political interference, their lawyers on Friday explaining to us that they had tried to make many attempts to speak to certain magistrates to get one of those emergency bail applications, but all of their efforts to try and get Operation Dudula leader out of prison this weekend have all failed. You will understand that this weekend was supposed to be the day where they launched their operations in Durban. You would have seen posters circulating on social media alerting residents of the plans to go and launch there, seemingly as part of a movement, to signify the growth of the movement. You will remember that this is one of those movements that says that it's there to try and eradicate social ills such as drugs in communities, doing impromptu random not necessarily drug busts, but going into so-called drug dens and doing searches with the police, and also going to certain various places and asking for people to show them their status within the country, ID documents, passports, so that they can present their status to them. And now we've also heard that this then prompted Julius Malema, EFF leader, to speak up against this, saying that this is criminal and that the vigilante group must be held accountable, reiterating that yet again in a message that we received from the EFF's national spokesperson, saying that they want the law to take its course. It's back to you in studio.
Now, Mbalenhle, before I let you go, now, of course, Mbalenhle is coming to us live there outside the Johannesburg Central Prison. Of course, those protests continuing even today. Let's talk about tomorrow. Nhlanhla is appearing in court tomorrow at the Roodepoort Magistrates Court. What are we likely to expect tomorrow? I would imagine there would be a high police presence, but in as far as the Dudula movement themselves, what are they telling you in terms of their plans come tomorrow?
Well, you will know that they do, as in terms of Operation Dudula, they do plan to go and picket and demonstrate outside the Magistrates Court in Roodepoort tomorrow. But it still remains to be, we're still unsure. It remains to be seen as to whether he will be released on bail tomorrow. We understand that, they have 48 hours rather, to keep him in custody, and if he does not appear, he has to be released. That's according to what the lawyer has explained to us. But things could go either way. The magistrate, could deny him bail on the basis that there are more investigations that need to be carried out, or he could be granted bail. But they are confident that this time around they will not be misled in the manner in which they were misled on Friday, where they went all the way to the Magistrates Court in Roodepoort, where after that, upon their arrival, they then learned that he hadn't been charged just yet and will not be appearing before the magistrate on that particular day. So we are all waiting to see what will come out, or waiting on the outcome of that bail application, which is going to take place tomorrow.
Mbalenhle, let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for that report, and take care. All right, that was Mbalenhle Mthethwa. Of course, tomorrow is that case that Nhlanhla Dlamini will be appearing at the Roodepoort Magistrates Court after a criminal case was opened against him. We're obviously following that story very, very closely.